Good morning, parents. Can you give us 5 minutes to admit all the attend? Thank you very much.
Ah. Okay, shall we start with this, right? Then ulit tayo. Let us bow our head and put ourselves in the holiness of God. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord Almighty and ever-loving God, we glorify and thank you for letting us with so much blessing. And your presence continue to remind us of your faithfulness and love.
Suggestion sa iyo sa campus mo, iba tayo. Right, pagkatitig natin sa tayo sa gilid ko. Sibay na yun. Maganda yung design ng tahimik. Alam mo ba?
Hindi rin maganda yung dinirit ko eh. Ginamit ko hapon. So yun lang po. Mamaya na lang. Eh, busy kami. Eh, naan pa kami.
Kahit sa dali mo naman kasi kahit sa third year, pag ulit
Hindi, may ano po akong binigyan. Mandaluyong. May pasok na po kami sa ano.
Araw-araw?
2 times a week.
Tuesday, Friday, Monday.
In 2 weeks ata. Ano, Wednesday, Friday ako. Wednesday, Friday.
Kesa.
Hindi ko po alam.
Long just na sa Wednesday.
Ano ata Wednesday, Thursday.
Twice a week.
When to
I appreciate much for your presence. Face-to-face side here, okay? So this is our first parenting seminar. So I sincerely welcome our speaker, our psychologist, Teacher Lani. Thank you very much. So we will be imparting the knowledge and expertise in these 2 topics. Math tasks for parents. So today we will be inspired to independently calculate them. As a reminder, so
yung PowerPoint kasi baka mag-store.
Okay, thank you for
Yan. So ikaw na lang i-transfer ko na video tsaka yung audio.
Our children
Sa audio. Yes.
when they are sad, happy, They are careful, they are being distracted, and we are hungry. So with this topic, we will be have
So I'm turning on my mic here. For the ones in Zoom, is the audio okay now? Okay na? Okay, sige. Alright, so we'll be starting with Singapore math. So I have double jobs today. One is Singapore math and the other one is as a psychologist. Okay. So there. Anyone who's familiar with Singapore math? Anyone whose son or daughter is already in E-class, none? None, okay. So those schools that I've mentioned are the ones using Singapore math right now. So the neighboring schools dito, the Ika, Xavier, Meridian, well, Ateneo is quite far, but they're also using Singapore math. So what is Singapore math? How is it different from the ones that we used to learn in school? Okay. So this one came from Singapore. The curriculum that we're following is also from Singapore. So what is mathematics? Mathematics is an excellent vehicle for the development and improvement of intellectual competence. So we wanted to use mathematics for the children to develop their critical thinking, their intellectual competence. Okay. So this has been studied in Singapore, and all throughout the years they are improving their curriculum. So whatever we have now is already an improved version. Improved version of what they had before. So this is a highly effective teaching approach based on research of math mastery in Singapore. So this approach teaches students to learn and master newer mathematical concepts at a greater detail, as well as having them learn this concept using the 3 steps of learning classes, which is the complete, pictorial, and abstract. Okay. In Singapore math, we don't have Roman numerals like we used to study when we were in our school before. Every year we use a spiral approach. So every year we tackle place value, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, but it gets harder and harder each time. Ganun siya. So lumalak lang yung numbers that we're dealing. Yan. And then, syempre, pag malaki-laki na sila, when they grow older, they have decimals, ratio, percentage, like that. So currently, algebra is being taught in grade 6. I think before it's in high school. Yeah. So, whatever topic that is being discussed in Singapore math is necessary for us to learn and help us become ready for the next and succeeding topics. So each topic is intentional. Okay, so the intentional progression of concepts in the Singapore math approach instills a deeper understanding of numbers and math concepts. Okay, so the advantage of Singapore math is that the concept is very established. So no matter how I ask the child, I can change the question, and then it can still be an addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Ganun pa rin siya. So the child should be able to answer because we have already instilled a good foundation of mathematics. So the key features, what makes Singapore math different is the complete pictorial and abstract approach, the bar modeling, the number bonds, and the mental math. So students learn to think mathematically rather than rely on rote memorization. We used to memorize multiplication table. Now I still accept that multiplication table nowadays should be memorized, right? But we have to understand why are we memorizing it. When we say 10 times 2, we know that it's 20. But can you explain to me what is 10 times 2? So that is where Singapore math is needed. Okay, so this one, I know there are a lot of things that are written here, but basically this one is about equipping the child the necessary skills to solve math word problems. So we train them to become critical thinkers, to become more patient. You don't really get the answer right away, so it has to follow a process. So the analytical method of visual processing skills are divided up together so that the child can answer mathematical questions. Okay, so in each and every topic of Singapore math, we have word problems. So whether we're measuring, we're checking the mass of a person, checking the letters, area, percentage, it still should be applicable in a word problem. Because our idea is that what good are your numbers if you cannot apply it? So this is the CPA approach. It is adapted from the Lumiere. Okay, so the 3 steps necessary for students to develop understanding of concept is this one, the complete pictorial and abstract. Complete meaning these are the things that you can touch. Manipulatives. Yan po yung sa your kids, di ba, they have Legos, so we can use that. Popsicle sticks, we can use that. Toy cars, we can also use that. Marbles, hello, marbles, we can also use that. So pictorial is when they move to the worksheets, because it is being represented. Okay, the numbers are being represented. And then the abstract are the numbers itself. Because when you see number 2, when you see number 3, those are just representations of a quantity. Right? So when I see number 5, it doesn't really tell me that there is a 5 quantity, but it gives me a representation of a quantity. So before we move on to our representation, the child should be able to learn that there's a quantity behind that representation. So inside the box that we have, there's a paper box. You can get the paper, and then we'll do a little activity. For the people in the Zoom, maybe you can all get a paper. And then we're going to tear the paper. So the sheet of paper, you can tear and then crumble. Okay, so sige lang po, continue. So get a part, then tear it, and then crumble. So until you make 10 pieces of that. Okay, tear, crumble. So this exercise will not only can also be used in your fine motor activities, right? So yung mga kids that cannot write well, they can practice doing this, tearing and crumbling. So they can practice their fine motor skills. Okay. So tear, crumble. So until you make 10 po. Are you able to make 10? Okay. So we can use that as manipulative, diba? So if we don't have money to buy toys, okay, we can use papers and ask the kids to just crumple, tear and crumple it. Then you can do counting. Okay. So here it goes. So in Singapore math, we can do counting 1 by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We use this one, these rectangular boxes that you see on the screen is what we call a frame. So whenever this 10 frame is complete, automatically you know that it's 10. So one of the skills that we teach to our kids is counting by 10. Di ba as adults, what we do that? Whenever we try to count a lot of objects, what we do is that we group them by 10, right? So that's what we also teach them in Singapore math. We group them by 10 and then we start counting. I used to teach a preschooler with counting by 10, and then when she got into grade 1, I saw how helpful it was, because when he started counting money, and then you combine 10, 5, 1, he can automatically count it. He's not gonna get a paper anymore and solve it 1 by 1. Yeah, so he saw like, let's say 5 tens. So he counted it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Then okay, the next set of coins are by 5. So then we jump into counting by 5, 55, 60. So it's like that. So and then we introduce the difference behind the counting. So we put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Then another concept that is important in Singapore math is number bonds. Now, if you have two different colors of papers, you can make 3 and become 7. So 3 and 7 make 10. So if we put it in a number bond, it's going to be like this. One part is 3, another part is together, they make 10. It's going to be like that. So the idea of addition is that you have one part and another part together, it makes food. No, it's like this. 3, how many papers are there all together? 3 and 7 make 10. Okay? The idea of subtraction is that I begin with a whole. Right? I always ask my kids, you have nothing. What if 0 minus 3? Their tendency is to just bring down 3, right? Because in addition, 0 plus 3 is 3. How come in subtraction you cannot do that? So I always tell them, you have nothing. And I want to get 3 candies from you. Can you give 3 candies? Is that possible? So the kid will say no. Then they get to realize that, oh, I have to be grouped in order for me to take away something. So you begin with the whole. 7. So how many pink papers are left? 3. So that's the concept of number 1. Now, I'd like to connect it to another concept that we call fact family. So this one, it shows us the relationship between addition and subtraction. Okay, the same way that we can apply this to multiplication and division. So, since maliliit pa yung anak nyo, so since they're still young, so let's do addition and subtraction first. Okay, so can you think of a way where you can put 10, 7, and 3 in an equation, in an addition equation? And you're done. Go help me out. How do you put 10, 7, and 3 in an addition equation? 10 is equal to 7 plus 3. Okay? So, that's
Nasa mga part ito. Nasa gamit yung phone mo.
plus 7 equals 10. Now we can also flip it. We can change it to 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. Okay? We can also do 10 minus 3 equal to 7. And 10 minus 7 equal to 3. Now, this way, the child understands the relationship of addition and subtraction. We give them 3 numbers, then they can come up with their addition and subtraction. Okay. So we go into the critical thinking. Yeah. So this is a sample worksheet of our pre-primary level. That okay. So my number.
My head's aching.
Papi,
Oh, what?
Papi, what's the
What are
tiny
the possible
donut
numbers?
with chocolate in it?
We'll buy it. We don't have it now. Finish your.
Possible numbers.
Finish your.
And the fish what's it?
You can ask mommy. I don't know. Finish your Finish your mac and cheese now.
Numbers.
I'll look for it. I'll ask mommy. Can you finish your mac and cheese, please?
Unless is 2. One more than Sun's number. It goes 34. So the answer can be like this. So if
Oh, wow, don't eat my mac and cheese.
34. Okay. So this way, we are also able to establish the number sense of kids. Okay. They know which, if I put one more, it becomes a greater number. If I say one less, then it's a number fewer than the number that they have chosen. So this is another one. So how many sets? So you will notice po, there's it's grouping by 10. Okay, it's grouped by 10, so 10, 20, 30, 40. So the set C is 43. Now set D is 33. Now we answer set C has 10 fewer or 10 more. 10 more. So makikita naman visually that a group of 10 is missing, right? Now, 43 is 10 more than 23. So it's like that. So it's easy for us adults, but it's not easy for them as kids because they're still learning the numbers. So whenever we teach these kinds of things, we do it like mastery of 1 to 10, 11 to 20. So it's by 10. So when they get to 90 to 100, they already know how to answer it. Okay. So this one is a little higher, around grade 1 or grade 2. So maybe you can draw on your, we call this guess and check. Okay. So there are 7 cars and motorcycles at a roadside. There are a total of 20 wheels. How many cars and how many motorcycles are there? Anyone who would like to try? We have a board here. Whiteboard. Yeah. Let's try. Who wants to try? Sisters? Okay, 3 cars, 4 motorcycles. How? Do it that way. It just got, wow, savant. Hmm.
I think the thought process they started with number 4. There are 4 wheels in a car.
Yeah.
So I put it like 20 wheels, so more 4 times 5 would be 20, so that it's not 5 cars. 4 times 4 is 16. So there will be 3 motorcycles left, which would be around 6. So it will be 20 wheels. So most likely that will go down 12. So 3 times 4 is 12, and then example. So that's a process we
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah, we call it guess and check. Guess and check. Or other kids, they call it trial and error. So we call it guess and check. So we can do it this way. Since you've got access is for you adult, not diba? So we try to teach them like this. You can draw a diagram. Okay, so 4 feet stands for the 4 wheels of the car. And then since motorcycle has 2, you can just draw 2 sticks under a seat. Then you mix it. Just like what Daddy was doing, you mix and match it, right? Oh, maybe ito. Maybe I should add more motorcycles. Actually, it's easier to adjust marami the fewer wheels. Okay, you make it greater and adjust the cars because it has more wheels. So there are 3 cars and 4 motorcycles. Okay, so if they draw it, they can easily see. This one. The figures below are made up of identical squares and triangles. Find the length of figure 3. So you know that 2 triangles in a square is 20 cm. Now there's a square, triangle, and square. It's 22 cm. Now, what is the length of your 3? Okay. I'll give you 1 minute to solve it. Because are 19? 9090. No po. Yes po. 42 is correct. Why? Why? Because Yun po. This is the answer. So you can restate the problem. We arrange the blocks or the shape to fit to the conditions that were given. Now this one. Can you show me two different ways on how you can illustrate 3 times 2? Drawing is very important in Singapore, man. Okay? So say for example, so we can draw, you can use string, stars, circles. So 3 times 2.
The black one. Share the black one.
Are the black ones go? Okay. Okay. It's right. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. So if we got 3, hello. Hello. Yeah. So how do we show it? So we have 1. It says 3. So we got 3 groups. 1, 2. Okay, sorry. Go back again. Sorry. 3 groups. So I'll draw 1, 2, 3. 3 group of 2. I'll draw 2. I can see. That's how I can understand it. Okay, so because it came from the concept of addition, right? 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's all another way of saying 3 times 2. Okay. So we can do like this. This is what I have drawn. Right? 3 groups of 2. We can also do 2 3s. And then you can also do 3 2s. So that's how we reach multiplication. Ay, sorry po. Sa sobrahan. Okay. So this is the part where it can help you do your math at home. Okay? So we can use any manipulation, just like what you did earlier. You can ask your kids to do that, especially the toddlers, when they have to exercise their fine motor, so that will really work. Or beans, right? When they pick up beans, marbles, that's very handy. The use of visualization, just like what I have drawn earlier. In addition, you can say that you have 5 circles, 5 red circles, and 2 yellow circles. How many circles do you have altogether? Pwedeng ganon. Kaya chocolates, if you have that at home, you can also do that. Use of everyday life situations. So I'll go into detail. So you can use the toys at home if you have blocks, cars. So sometimes when you teach online, you tell the kids, okay, what are the toys that you have in front of you? Because it's impossible that they don't have toys in front of them, right? So what are the toys that you have in front of you? Do you have Legos? Do you have toy cars? Do you have trains? Like that. So we ask them to get that. And then we count together. School supplies, you can use paper clips, you can use popsicle sticks, yeah. Papers, just like what we did earlier. Gift wrappers, right? So Christmas time is there. You can say, you can gift wrappers and then ask the kids to use it. Then their fingers, it comes in handy wherever they go, they have it with them. So these are the samples of our kids who are doing something. I think the left side is doing multiplication, introduction to multiplication. The other one is very small, this is learning how to count. So another is you ask them to draw. They use shapes, circles, rectangles, and stars. And bar modeling. Bar modeling is really one of the highlights of Singapore math. So here, so this is one of our kids. 5 plus 4 equals to 9. So she drew 5 squares and then 4 hearts. This one is already an old kid. So when they grow up, one rectangle, 1 square. So when they grow up, 1 square is not 1 anymore. So the 1 square becomes a bigger number already. Okay. So let's try. So let's try. I'll think of a problem. I'll give a problem for that for you guys. So, for example, I bought 35 kilograms of papaya. So the food is 35 kilograms. Okay, she gave 2 of her 2 kilograms of her papaya to her friend. That so 2 So you were given a clue that the food was divided into 5 parts. So divided 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. So she gave 2 fish to her friend. Then this one. How many does she have there? Okay. This one. So 35, now 35, you divide it into 5 parts. And so you know that each part is 7. How many does you have left? 21. Because you have 3 units, multiply by each unit, you got 21. So 21 is there. Info. So that's how we teach them. Even in ratio and proportion, you can still apply the bar modeling 1 to 3, 5 to 2, like that. So this is also an example of our students' work. So this kid is grade 2. We use the bar modeling to compare the blue pens. So there are 752 blue pens in a shop. There are 359 more blue pens. If you will see, there's a part that's more, right? At some point, the red and the blue are the same. And the one that the red doesn't have any more is where the blue became greater, right? So it is the more part. So 359 more. So the question is, how many red pens are there in the shop? So from the concept of part rule, so the rule is 752. A part of it is 359. So the other part is missing. So when one part is missing, we say that we use subtraction. So 752 minus 359 is 390. So this one, at the end of the worksheet, we also ask students to come up with their own word problem. So we give them words that they can use, and then we have to put them together to come up with a word problem. So there, so this kid, she made her own word problem. I can't read it, it's too small. So there. And he is being given cards. You can see there are cards on the side. The teacher will give her stars. As long as she has good bar modeling, good labeling, good equation, and she's able to answer it in a complete sentence. So we can also use situations in everyday life. So while waiting for your turn, I think in school, right, well, they have to wash their hands, they have to line up, you ask them to come. So you can use that. So you can tell them, okay, mommy will go to you after 10 counts. You have to count until 10 and then mommy will go to you. That way, they're able to practice their waiting and their counting. So, and then 2 skills. They can also do washing of hands, so especially nowadays, we have to count it up 1 to 20 so we know that our hands are clean. So you can also incorporate counting. Sharing of food, but usually, okay, you can only eat 5 M&Ms. You can share 2 candies to your friend. You can eat 2 grapes, things like that. So you can incorporate quantities in their everyday life. Grocery shopping. So how many boxes of Coco Touch can you buy today? There. So can you help mommy get 2 cans of sardines like that? Sorting of objects. So if at home you don't have a maid, you can ask them to help you out sort the objects. Clothes, you can also, their toys. Their toys is a good example where they can practice sorting. So they can sort it according to shape, size, color, or function. Laundry, keeping toys, like that. So you can also engage them in everyday activities, board games, in snakes and ladders, you have to move, right? When you throw a dice, you have to move how many steps? Like that. Group games. Baking. Baking requires counting, measuring. Some kids, they don't know how to read weighing scale yet. Every weighing scale is different, right? So there are by 10, by 50. They thought kapag by 10 lang, it's always going to be like that. Cooking, you put 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, things like that. So you can make them involved. Asking for different ways of how they can solve a problem. So encourage them to come up with questions. So you ask them, do you have what question do you want to ask? You can ask them that. Is there a question that comes into your mind when you have this kind of problem? So that is exercise their critical thinking also. So that ends for our talk for Singapore math. So we teach Singapore math to kids from pre-primary to grade 6. There. Our center for used to be here, but right now we moved to online. Do you have any question? Yes, Bob. 3 years old. Yeah, we do it online, but for 3 years old, it's 30 minutes lang muna. Oo, kasi they might not be able to stay the whole session. We used to be in front of the Christ the King Church, but right now, we're still looking for an office. Yeah. Yes, po, thank you. So there. Any more? Yes, sir.
Class size, is it individual or is it?
Right now, all my sessions po are one-on-one. Used to be po in front of the Christ the King Church. You may PS Bank po. Yun. Used to be on the 3rd floor, but then when the pandemic happened, we moved out of the building and all our sessions po are done online. But soon, because everyone is doing face-to-face, soon po, we'll be finding a place. Okay. You have students when yung kay doctor. Yeah, and then We used to have other students who came from DML kasi we live in the same vicinity. Okay, so they can have a break. Yeah. All right.
Can have your bathroom break. Thank you.
Ah.
Sorry po, will be starting in a minute.
Okay, so we can begin. Ay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, so today, so apart from being a teacher, I'm also a psychologist by profession, and I'm also a practicing clinical psychologist. So, so today we're going to talk about little kids with big emotions. Okay? So we can take a moment to think about what did you do this morning, the feelings that you had this morning. So syempre, you're going to attend this meeting. So I think merong mga nangyari sa bahay. Come on, dress up. Okay, you have to leave, you're in a like that. So notice what you're feeling right now. With all the rush that you had this morning, with all the things that you did, aalis ka ng bahay, you have to say mga bilin sa bahay. Yan. So, what did you do after what happened this morning while in the car, going here, or while sitting here? What did you do that helped you feel better? Okay, so you can reflect on that. Was it easy to manage? Was it easy for you to feel better after the rush that you had this morning? Now another situation. Think of the time when you don't know what to do. How lost you feel at that time. So sometimes things are happening at work, but you don't know what to do. When you don't understand what is happening and what you can make and how you can make yourself feel better. Right? Naligo ka na, you took a bath, you had your dinner, and still nothing seems to be working to make you feel better. So when you feel overwhelmed, can't explain how we feel, or you don't know if you can shake the feeling or not. So we call these instances big emotions. So the emotions that we're feeling at that moment when we don't know what we need to do, what we can do, so we call these big emotions. So what are big emotions? There. So these are just some examples. So there are more. But among the big emotions that our kids usually feel are sadness, frustration, fear, excitement, anger, worry, annoyance. So sometimes it's not just negative, huh? I remember a kid telling her mom, "Mom, I can't sleep because I'm too excited for tomorrow." So the kid is having a hard time to contain that excitement. So hindi siya makatulog. Yeah. So it can also be like that. So why is it important for us to deal with big emotions? So it's important because we have to regulate our emotions. So we don't want naman our kids to grow up as an adult and then, pag nagalit sila, they will just hit somebody. Right? So it's important because we have to regulate our emotions. They need to express their feelings in healthy ways. They need to develop self-control na kapag nagagalit ako, I don't just hit on someone. Kapag nagagalit ako, I will not hit the things that I see. I will not hurt anyone. I will not harm any animals. So it's also necessary for them to gain skills access to the world. So when they grow up as an adult, they will be able to adapt. Right? Pagkalita ng boss, ano gagawin nila? So the kid, your child will not be able to close a deal. He will become frustrated. What will he do? There. So you can think of a time when your child experienced one of these big emotions. How did your child experience it? How did your child behave at that time? So some kids, they cry, they shout, or they throw tantrums. Okay? Di ba minsan pag tayo, we don't know how to express, parang masarap din mag-tantrums, di ba? Parang nakakaingit yung bata, nagta-tantrums. So, it's one way to exhaust what they're feeling inside. Okay, they cry, they shout tantrums, they throw tantrums because they don't know, they don't have the words like us adults to explain what they are going through. Okay, they also have this limited experience to be able to manage the situation that requires them to regulate their emotions. Right? We cannot expect them to regulate their emotions when you at home are shouting. Right? You tell them not to shout, but you're telling it in a way na pasigaw. You're telling your kid, don't shout, but you're shouting. So later I'll be telling you that you have to also attune what you're preaching. So there. So emotional development, we have to take note because your kids here in DML are toddlers, right, and above. So the developmental task that they're facing is this one, autonomy versus shame and doubt. So if we support their independence, because this is the time when, like her, learning how to walk, right? So when they're learning how to walk, gusto nilang bumitaw sa inyo. Like they want to explore. Parang kayo lang din yon, that you have learned, let's say, how to play a musical instrument. Di ba you want to do it over and over again? So it's like them learning how to walk, learning to explore, learning to do things on their own. So we have to support it by allowing them to explore, allowing them to try out new things. So that they can develop that sense of independence. Okay? You wouldn't want your 30-year-old son to be calling you, Mom, how do I do this thing? How do I decide on this, right? You want a child who's more independent and able to make decisions on their own. So early on, you support that. So here, when they're about 3 years old to 5 years old, their developmental task is initiative versus skill. So children develop a sense of purpose and motivation to try new things. So this is the time when they initiate play with their playmates, with their classmates, when they can think of an idea and then they're going to do it with their classmates. So we have to let them practice that skill. Okay, let them do things so that they will also know and learn to do it on their own. Okay, and to execute that creativity. So 5 years old to 12 years old, industry versus inferiority. Because this is the time when they go to school. They learn how to write, they learn how to read, to count. So nadadagdagan yung competence nila as a person. So when you let them learn, you have to support them in such a way that you don't stop whatever it is that they're thinking. Okay, sometimes they're saying something and you say, wala lang. So that non-response is negative for them. Kasi, na-dismiss yung thoughts ko. Diba? So parang hindi pala siya kaaya-ayang idea. Yeah. So you have to entertain that. So you entertain it, then yung behavior nila of being creative, of being independent, mas strengthen siya. Okay, so children learn to assert themselves more frequently through directing play and other social interaction. So how can I be good? Where am I good? Okay. Because I see some teenager clients right now, they are having a hard time asserting themselves in class. This face-to-face classes is hard for them because they don't know how to relate to others anymore. So apparently, itong 2 taon, these 2 years, parang na baby yung comfort nila, that going out is a scary thing for them kasi they don't know how to talk to their classmates anymore. One of them said, it's good that we're wearing masks now because I can go out even if I'm scared. But I'm not gonna eat in class kasi I have to take out my mask. Yeah. So that's something alarming. Alam mo, hindi ka kakain buong maghapon sa klase. Saan kakain sa CR? Diba? So it's alarming because you have to immerse yourself to the society again and you have to welcome that. So yun yung mga nahihirapan sila ngayon that now, since we have these toddlers, we can build their confidence to become independent, to become, parang to know na kaya nilang gawin yung mga bagay-bagay. It's very important. Kasi naman, minsan nakala natin, no, nandiyan si Yaya eh. Yaya can open the bottle for them. But you know, it's very important for the kid to know that I can open my own bottle. Yeah, so minsan, because the Yayas are there, nawawala din yung independence of the kids to do things. Yeah. So before we dig deeper, these are some things that we have to remind ourselves of what emotions are. So here, so emotions are valid, whether it's positive or negative, it's valid, right? Remember the film Inside Out? Yes. So Inside Out is a very good movie that depicts how sadness, happiness, anger, disgust reside within us, right? Hindi lang tayo all happy. We are also capable of being sad, being afraid, being angered, right? So all of those emotions are part of us. It's normal, it's manageable, and acceptable. Now, your job as parents is to make emotions normal for your kids. Okay? So emotions come and go, right? Hindi ka naman all happy person. Sometimes you also feel sad. Hindi ka rin naman all sad person. Kasi minsan, pag lumabas ka, you go out with your friends, you also feel happy. When you have new experiences, that gives you happiness as well. So emotions can be mild, intense, or anywhere in between. Minsan, di ba, konting sadness lang. Hindi siya extreme. Minsan, like speaking in front of a crowd might be hard for other people. Yeah. It makes them feel anxious. But it can be intense, very intense, that in the middle, kung naaalala nyo, there are presentations ng kids, di ba, na napiprease lang sila, hindi na sila gumagalaw. Yun. Pwede rin umiiyak sila backstage, up to the point that they won't be able to perform anymore. Here. So there are no good or bad emotions, but there are good and bad ways of expressing emotions. Just like what I mentioned earlier, you can feel scared. Right? You can feel angry or mad. But you don't have to hit your mom while feeling angry. Okay? So there. To self-check, because you parents are the ones who's going to address these concerns to your kids. So you also have to check yourselves. Also the teachers, you also have to check yourself. Right? Naalala ko po, I have a student back then, whenever I'm not feeling okay, he's adopted. So whenever I'm not feeling okay about what he's doing, he's not gonna behave. Until I feel calm inside, then he's gonna feel calm also and he's going to follow me. So he reminded me of the self-control that I have or the emotions that I have to manage within me. Because no matter how I pretend that I am okay, he will still feel it. He will not follow. So siya yung parang signal na, okay teacher, you have to be okay. Like that. So you have to do that checking within yourself. So how you react to your kids' emotion, it has an impact to the development of their emotional intelligence. So if you will remember, like the way you cope to situations, so kung ititrace mo, hawig ba siya ng paano nagko-cope yung mama at papa mo? Think about it. So I'm thinking there's some kind of similarity between how you cope as a person and how your parents cope. So you get it from your environment. So this important to manage your emotions first. So for parents, you have to be aware of your own emotions. If you're coming from a bad day and you see your son messing up something, take a pause. You don't have to react or respond right away. Okay? Kasi pag nagsalita ka, it will just pile up to something even greater emotions. So take a pause, breathe, do your thing, relax ka muna, and then you address the concern. Okay? You also have to put boundaries as a parent. You don't have to react in each and every situation that is going to happen in your house. There are things that you can let go, so not to damage the relationship that you have. Okay? So remember, you have to okay? You have to learn how to breathe. So there's a study that was done in the US where before reacting, they did breathing first. So they said that nag-lower your crime when they did that. So that breathing, staying calm, gives you a space between your reaction and the situation. Okay, and you're buying that time when you breathe. Okay, so this is important. Do listen with empathy and attunement. Okay, when you listen, you give your 100% to the person. You give your 100% to your child. Hindi yung gumagawa ka, yung anak mo, ang laki-laki ng emotion sa tabi, and ikaw, okay, I'll just go on with my life. Okay. It makes them feel that we are not heard. So the child feels that she is not heard, not being given attention to. When we say attunement, for example, umiiyak yung anak mo, nagwawala siya. Okay? Hindi naman pwedeng, galit ka na naman, tapos ang saya-saya mo. Di ba? Galit ka na naman. Hindi siya attunement. Okay? Hindi mo kailangang magalit for you to mirror what your child is feeling. What you can do is you lower the tone of your voice, you make it sound sad, make it sound understanding of what they are feeling. Okay, so you seem to be mad right now. Okay, so remember, the way you modulate your emotion is the way you want your child to show the emotion. Okay? Okay, so remember, each and every big emotion situation is a learning opportunity for your child. It's for your child, not for you to vent out your feelings. Okay? So how do we manage big emotions? So we identify the emotion. We put a name to it. We have this thing that we call name it to tame it. So when you know what you're dealing with, you get that something doesn't have a control over you. So you're able to name it. So pwede mo siyang control. Okay? You have a say to it. So help your children name the emotion without judgment. Find words to label what they are going through. Because they lack that vocabulary to describe what they're feeling, right? So they cannot capture what they are experiencing. So you help them name it. You seem frustrated right now.
Hello.
Frustrated. You seem annoyed. Okay? So there, those are the examples of the emotion. So we have anxious. Actually, kids nowadays, ang bata nila to learn the word anxious. I'm anxious right now. Tapos magugulat tayo, where did they get that? So I always replace their words. What is it really that you're feeling? Whenever you say you're anxious, what is it really that you're feeling inside? Because maybe, kasi pag nagiging teenager yung mga bata, gumagaling sila mag-research online talaga. So we see clients that can identify all that they have read online. Yeah. So we try to break down what it is that they're feeling. So here pa. Help them turn upsetting feelings into definable and normalized experiences. Okay? So, yung reaction nyo, so I remember a student who's holding a pencil and poking me under the table. So seemingly, walang nangyayari dito sa taas. Pero akala niya, he thought that I did not notice that he's poking me under the table. So I was just calm. Yeah. And then, until such point, I told him, also, you're poking teacher under the table. You just describe it. Because the child is just looking for an attention that probably you're not seeing it. So maybe I can try it out. Teacher got hurt. So I feel hurt because you're poking me under the table. You can say that. That's okay. So here. I also felt scared before when I first saw my friend Lex. So you can help normalize the situation by sharing your own experiences. So for sure, you as a mom, as a dad, you are able to experience that scare that it's the first time to go to school, or somebody got your toy, or somebody took something that you own, like that. So you can share your own experience and they can learn something from it. So syempre important yung how you felt or what did you do to get through the situation, right? Because that's the coping that they can get. So here, I could tell you were mad because you walked away. So this one is just merely describing what the child did, right? So you did not make any assumption, you just described what they did. So pwede mo gawin yun. So, pwede mo sabihin, I think you are mad because your eyebrows are crossed or raised like that. Your voice is raised also like that. So you can describe what it is that they're showing that made you think the emotion that they're feeling. Number two, you allow them to feel their feelings with boundaries, of course. Okay? Hindi pwedeng, may rules. Hindi pwedeng manira, hindi pwedeng mang-hurt ng other people, hindi pwedeng mang-hurt ng sibling. Okay? But you may shout. You can shout, you can stay in the corner if you want, you can play music if you want. Okay, you can punch the pillows. Okay, but it's not allowed to hurt anyone. Okay, you may express your feelings. So you take a pause, you let your child feel. Because emotions are meant to be felt. Okay? They're not meant to be dismissed. Kasi pag di-dismiss natin yan, somewhere, pag lumaki sila, hindi nila mamamanage yun. So, as early as now, we help them manage it so that it will be easier for them to sit with it when they grow up. So you let them express their feelings, but not hurting of other people or damaging anything. So this is what I mentioned earlier. So you wait for the emotion to wind down. Hindi yung nasa peak siya, ng galit, and then you're telling me, let's stop. You have to stop. Parang ikaw ba, pag galit ka, kaya mo kumalma kagad at makipag-usap? Hindi, di ba? So the same way kids are like that. Okay? The more that the kids is having a hard time, if us adults are having a hard time managing our emotions, then what can we expect to our kids who do not have that much of experience? Right? So we have to be curious on what made them feel that way. So when you're curious about something, di ba para ka, ganito pala to. This is how you do it. Oh, it's like this pala. It's like having a new phone and you're finding out the apps or yung mga new technologies ng phone mo. So it's like that. You're curious about it. You're not judging. So you ask open-ended questions that will encourage them to think about what they are feeling and reason behind it. So we can ask, I wonder what made you feel angry. I wonder what made you feel excited. Can you help me understand what made you irritated? Yeah. So how did you feel when that happened? Okay, so sometimes my friend did not talk to me in school. Ganyan. So, pwede tanongin, bakit hindi mo siya in-approach? Ganyan. Yun. It's okay if sometimes you will be the one to talk to your friend first. Sometimes it's your friend who's waiting for you to approach her. So can you think of anything that might have contributed to your feeling of sadness? Yeah. You teach them how to cope. So this is one of the important things. Okay. So taking a slow deep breath can help them manage their emotions. Siyempre, hindi the breathing, we practice it prior to the big emotions. Okay, we practice it often. We don't just practice it when that moment is there. Kasi pag practice mo, kapag doon lang sa moment na yun, it's hard for you to access it. Right? So when you practice it often, then it becomes part of your regular behavior, and it's easy for you to access it in times of need. To show them other angles of that situation to widen their understanding. Maybe your friend felt this way. Maybe your teacher felt this way, that's why she got angry. So I can feel sad about this, but it doesn't have to ruin my day. Okay? So it's just a part of your day. So only percentage lang yan. So walking can be a coping. Okay, take a walk in the garden, take a walk in the park, pwede samahan mo sa park. Pwede mag-play. If you have playroom at home, you can let them play. They can choose the music that they want. Bubbles. The reason why I put bubbles here is because when you blow bubbles, nagpo-blow ka ng air. Na-exhaust yung breathing mo inside. So nakakakalma siya. So here, reading books. There are kids who love to read. You can ask them to do that for their me time. They can also express themselves through drawing or art or crafts. So these are the things that they can do. Yeah. So this one, both for you adults and both for the kids. Okay, so if you search online, breathing exercises, GIS, you can find this. Okay, so you breathe in hold it, and then breathe out. When you breathe in, make sure that your belly is growing bigger. So you put your hand to your stomach, inhale, your stomach will grow bigger. So imagine it's a balloon, deflated balloon inside you. Tapos, pag nag-breathe in ka, lalaki yun. And when you breathe out, mawawala yung air. Okay? Because when you're doing that, you are trying to control your breathing, you are trying to put your mind at the present moment, you are trying to put your attention to what your body needs. Okay? So there. So this one is the most specific. Balloon belly. So think of your belly as a balloon. Place your hand on the belly, feel it, rise and fall. Take a deep breath in through your nose to fill your balloon or your belly. Hold your breath for 3 seconds. Then breathe out through your mouth slowly to deflate your balloon and belly. You can repeat this several times, over and over again, to help you calm down. So there, before I end my presentation, okay, I'd like to remind you that when little people are overwhelmed by big emotions, it's our job to share our calm, not to join their chaos. Okay, so this is by LR. Then this is my parting picture for you. There. So that's it. Thank you for listening. You have any questions? Baka you have questions from the Zoom. Or from the people here.
You can ask questions. You can open your camera and your microphone if you have questions.
Okay, yeah. Wala nang question. So, who are here or anyone on Zoom? No questions on Zoom. Parents are here. Questions, we have emotions. Okay. Okay na po. Yeah. Yes. First na pala kayo. Then, yes. Kita ka sa picture.
Thank you to all the team participants. If you have questions, feel free to ask or message us in our YouTube and our Facebook accounts. Thank you very much.
And visitors, maraming salamat! Maraming salamat sa lahat! Sino yun? Nag-live eh kasi. Ay, nag-live. Channel natin. Sa DML. Ganun ba? Oo. Sino yung iba? Si Helen Marami. Si Cher, si Mai, Dr. Ramean.
Bye-bye everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless. Palipad si Helen eh. Ng pera. Nagpalipad sila ng pera.
Thank you for the donations.
Thank you.